I'm Sid, for those of you who don't know. Maybe your first time seeing this somewhere, whether YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook. We're obviously live on Facebook today. So what we're going to talk about today is 30 tips for buying your first rental property, or maybe even your second, third, or fourth. It doesn't really matter. Actually, it doesn't need to be your first one, but if you're a new person getting started or wanting to get started into buying rental properties, just to give you a quick background, I've been actually doing, my wife Julie, we've actually been doing real estate for over 30 years now. We've flipped well over 1,200 properties, and when we were living in New York, we actually had over, I believe it was over 40 some properties that we owned, and then we had another 15 or more that we actually managed for some of our investors that were out of state or out of country. So let me go over these for you really quick. There is 30 of them. I won't do all 30. I'm just going to hit some of the highlighted ones, and then what you can do once we get this posted in the next week or so. If you're seeing this live, we'll get it posted to the sites in a few days or maybe next week, and then you'll be able to go back to our link to the website and actually download the rest of them for free, for tips for free. So let's get started. My IT guy here has finally gotten me live, so I can see myself, scared myself actually, but anyways, I'm here. So let's get started. The first thing you want to look for is to leverage. You want to use leverage to buy your property, right? So that comes along with needing financing, right? So the first thing you want to do before you do anything else, don't waste anybody's time. You need to go out and figure out what it is you can afford, right? So we deal with people all day long. We also own a home building company, and we get a lot of people who go, well, how much can you build this house for me for? Well, folks, that doesn't really matter. What matters is what can you afford, and then we go and see what we can find or what we can build for you. So go get your financing, go get a pre-approval letter. Most brokers, mortgage brokers or bankers, federal credit unions, anything like that, they'll do that for you. But if you're real serious, that's what you want to do first. Two things you want to look at investing in. Number one would be single family homes. They're the easiest to get involved in, or get started with, sorry. But I would try to stay away from those a little bit. I'm not a big fan of single family rentals, unless you're buying in bulk, or you have some type of plan. Now, we've talked about this in some of the other videos, so if that's where you got to get your feet wet then go ahead and buy 1, 2, or 3, or 4 of them and stretch them out over maybe a 6-month, 8-month, a year period, or a little bit longer, and then have your exit strategy. Once you've owned them for a year or two, go ahead and sell them and then move that cash into duplexes, fourplexes, and so on. I would recommend, if you can, the price is probably not that much difference starting out with a duplex, right? Because what I've found over the years is that normally both rental units aren't empty at the same time. So if you buy it right, and our quick formula is one side pays for everything, the other side is completely cash flow. Those are hard to come by, especially in this type of a market that we've been on a bull run for a long time now. But that's what you really want to strive for. That makes it really a lot less stressful on you, and excuse me, it's just a better way to go. When you get into a 4 unit, you might want to say 2 units or 2.5 units pay for everything, and the other 1.5 or 2 units are completely cash flow. But I would look at doing duplexes, especially if you're living with your parents, or maybe you need a place to live on yourself and you're renting right now. What you might want to do is look at a duplex. You live in one side, rent out the other side, and so you're going to be paying your own rent on the one side, right? So there's your guaranteed rent right there to make your payments, right? So then you want to get somebody else in the other side, which is going to be completely cash flow positive for you. So those are the first few things. you want to make sure, this is going to sound really kind of goofy to say, but a lot of people forget. You want to make sure that you put down a large enough down payment to get that cap rate up as high as you can, or your payments down, all that works together. A lot of people, they want to go with a no money down or 3% down or something like that. If you have the cash, I would go ahead and put a good size down payment, 10 or 20% down. Some banks may even ask you to do more. What else? Let's see here. All right, so now you've gotten your property, right? There are people out there that are investors who are flipping houses. So what they're doing is they're going to the banks and they're buying up all the foreclosures, all the REOs, whatever it is, state auction, tax auctions, doesn't matter, right? And they're going in and they're fixing the houses and then they're trying to sell them out to investors as turnkey properties, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. They've done all the work. You just want to make sure that you want to talk to as many people as they'll allow you to talk to that have already doing business with them, preferably ones that have done 3, 4, 5, or 6 properties with them, and also have been with them for maybe 2, 3, or 4 or 5 years. So you're really getting a test of how do I want to say it? A test of their ability to do the houses right, repair them right, cash flowing them right, and getting renters in there. Okay, just like with I will skip that one. All right, so let's go to once you've gotten your property. A few things you want to do is you want to make sure you have a written application filled out completely, and then a rental contract filled out completely. Ours is 13 pages long. And also you'd want to have a lease property or lease contract done as well, especially if you plan on selling it a year or two down the road with the folks that are in it. So we used to call those things lease to option or lease to own. We did a lot of them back 15 years ago. Screen your prospective tenants thoroughly. Really thoroughly, right? Don't take in the sad stories or anything like that. Look at you're running this as a business, okay? So all the sad stories set aside. You can be a little bit lenient, or not lenient, but a little bit flexible if you'd like. But don't be too much, right? If it's a 3-day notice they haven't paid, hit them with it, right? If they haven't paid in 3 days, you hit them with a 3-day notice. After the 3-day notice, you get straight to eviction. But don't play games. And the reason I'm saying that, I'm not trying to be, a big a-hole like most of you think I am, but it's because this is your business, right? This is your business, and you need to run it like a business. Okay. All right. So make sure you have those things in place. One thing I'd like to add with that about the the possible tenants is that go drive by their house that they're living in now, or make an appointment to just go see them. That'll tell you a huge story. Talk to your neighbors, see what else is going on in the area, and that should be it. I don't want to go through all of them. You can find the rest of them once this thing goes posted next week. We're live right now. But if anybody I don't know if anybody's got any questions. I see some people are on with us, Todd, but I don't know if anybody's asked any questions.
They have.
No? Okay. I'm surprised nobody said anything smart about my new haircut, especially my wife, who I'm assuming is watching. But anyways, all right, guys. Well, that's it for today's show. 30 tips for buying your first rental property, or your 5th, 4th, 6th, 7th, whatever it may be. And also there's tips in there about buying from the pros, the guys who are going out ahead of you, doing all the work, and then selling you a turnkey property. They're all over the place: Atlanta, Kansas City, Chicago. They're all over the place. So just be careful, be aware. Their job is to make money, right? So they're going to make it right up front on you. You're going to make it over time. So you want to make sure that everything that you're purchasing, repair-wise, tenants, especially if they give you tenants in place, you want all of that checked out, right? And who's going to do the property management for you, especially if you're not in your own backyard, right? Are they going to do it? You want to know upfront cost. You want to have a description of what is expected of them and what they expect of you. Basically, you should have a contract with these guys, knowing exactly what they're going to be charging you depending on what happens, right? So make sure you do that. And actually, guys, you should be doing that with everybody, from your accountant to your lawyer to the bank people, whoever you're doing business with, whoever you're buying products from. You want to make sure that you know up front exactly what their fees are. I think that's it. I appreciate everybody's coming on, taking the time to watch today. Again, you can find us at Sid Chase Group. We're on Instagram, LinkedIn, obviously Facebook, our YouTube channel. If you'd go to that and hit the like button and the subscribe button, I'd appreciate that also. YouTube won't let us go live because we don't have over 1,000 people yet, so we're still working on that. But that's it. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, folks. Have a good day.